Welcome, everyone, to another edition of 55 and 5, a fun game show, kind of, that the points don't matter, neither do the questions, but we hope that you learned something about the stars of the 1955 Parkhurst set. Ian Riccaboni, Cary Silkin. Cary, we're going through these one by one on the road to 121. We have less than 100 to go now.
And we're at 22.
We're at 22. And Cary, we had a fun one yesterday, Sonny Warcloud, one of the great Native American stars of the 50s and 60s. And today we have a man whose career started in 1930.
Oh, no.
But I think you'll know the name. This might go down in the George Gordienko path of names that we've heard of, that we know a little bit about, but hopefully we can pass the knowledge on a little bit more to our viewers. So I'm going to show the folks at home this card. And for those who are joining us for the first time, Cary and I will have 5 minutes to discuss the man pictured on the card. I'm going to start the timer right now. Cary, what can you tell me about Gino Garibaldi?
I certainly know the name.
Does Leo Garibaldi ring a bell?
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Was he Leo's brother?
Father.
Okay.
And the brother of Chick.
Well, look at him on the beach. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Handsome man.
And he's jacked. And his debut, was 1929. So this is not a spring chicken, and he's yoked in this 1955.
So if this is 26 years into his career, boy, did this guy stay in good shape.
Right. Yeah, Gino Garibaldi. Do you care to wager who his first opponent was? And it's a very notable name from that time period.
Strangler Lewis.
Yes. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. I said the points don't matter, but Cary gets some points for that. Ed Strangler Lewis's first opponent. Do you know what famous arena in Philadelphia it was in?
Well,
I think there's only one that was standing at this time. It might narrow it down.
Was it the old downtown Philadelphia arena
Sure
where they taped the wrestling on 45th and Market, I think?
Sure was. Yeah.
All right.
So he's got quite a link to the past. At one point, we joked about the first Nikolai Volkov and the first Tom Zink. At one point, I just want to point out he wrestled somebody named Nick Velkov. So even at that point, there's a third Nikolai Volkov at this point.
A Velkov swimming in a tank.
You get out and give her back a crank. He homesteaded for Jack Curley at the original Madison Square Garden. So he wrestled quite a bit in New York in the 30s and 40s. He was a pioneer in the NAWA. Do you know what the original NAWA became?
I want to immediately say NWA, but was it maybe the promotion that was like in Cleveland and Buffalo?
That was NWA upstate. NAWA became the WWA in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And what was interesting, and I hope somebody can jump in, he took a new moniker. He became Black Zorro. And I don't know if you know that name, but I was reading between the lines, and what I could find, that appeared to be an outlaw at the time.
Was he masked?
It appeared he was wearing the Zorro mask, from what I can tell. And this is a large man. He's listed at 5'11", 225. Great build, but it seemed like if you wrestled in the NAWA, you were kind of forfeiting your stature in the NWA.
Right.
And so, yeah, it appears he tried to make a disguise.
And we referenced that on our poster of the week with Bearcat Wright and Freddie Blassie. Mm-hmm. When Bearcat Wright didn't want to cooperate with Freddie Blassie, but it was its own entity. And I'm not a historian. I have some history, but these true historians, Matt Farmer, Tim Hornbecker, Greg Oliver, Pat Lepard, the guys from Maple Leaf, even Mike Johnson and Dave LaGreca.
Sure.
Guys that know their stuff. Or anyone else, Les Thatcher. I try to tag, please chip in.
Yeah.
We want to learn more also.
Well, what's fun about Gino Garibaldi, toward the end of his career, NAWA turns into WWA. In the WWA, he ends his career against opponents like Judo Gene LaBelle,
who
trained Roddy Piper. Lord James Blears, whose name keeps coming up, and I think we'll see him in a card. I think he's in the set. And Joe Scarpa, before he became
Chief J.
Strongbow. So interesting set of opponents. He retires in 1965. Quite a career. I mean, he's going from some of the top draws of the 1920s.
That's amazing.
To some of the top draws of the 1960s. And he hit that perfect sweet spot where he was able to wrestle near the top against everybody.
Yeah, I mean, considering where he started and then going into the TV era and continuing, it's a hell of a career. Good card.
Yeah, great card. And again, the fun colors, it's kind of what separates the 55s and the 54s. A lot of the 55s have brighter colors, and this is card number 120. So I don't think Gino Garibaldi was in the first set. So a nice addition to that.
A high number card.
There you go.
Which is, if you know cards, the high number cards, at least in baseball.
Right.
Do you know why they were?
I do. So at the end of the season, the players that were traded or the players that were just called up would be often featured at the end of the set, and they would be released in different series.
And as the sets were released, everybody would jump on the first new set of baseball cards.
Right.
Might be 100 cards, but by the time they were issuing card 400 to 500, it was in July, and it was people had lost interest, so they didn't print as many.
Yep.
Which makes the Mickey Mantle,
which is number 311.
Correct. You know, besides the fact that it's Mickey Mantle's first year, it wasn't a large print. But
they dumped a whole lot of them in the ocean on top of that too.
We'll have to hear more about that.
Yeah, the 1952 set, those high numbers, a lot of them didn't make it to retail. A lot of them ended up in the ocean.
Huh.
Yeah. So if you're a scuba diver, get your gear. And go off of Long Island and Staten Island.
Some rookie Mickey Mantles.
Maybe PSA 1 or just authentic.
Right.
They usually just say authentic at that point. But Gino Garibaldi, a nice card in the set. Good career. It's a name you hear the Garibaldi name come up a lot. And Leo, I think, might be a better discussion.
For a little bit better
discussion. Well, folks, thanks so much for joining us. Episode 22. For more of Cary and I, you can check us out, Last Stop Penn Station. I want to thank AJ from Bisson Creative Web Design for helping us out with these videos. Until next time, happy wrestling, everybody.